Welcome back to Dabsy Bricks for another Gotham City update. In the last update, worked on the docks area, tiled all this off after raising it up by a couple of bricks, amended the design of the raised road here, and also amended this section just here. Now, I'm going to hold fire on doing any more work on here until I've got the parts for doing the Joker's Funhouse and the roller coaster. Instead, what I want to do is turn my attention over to the raised platform area. So this needs to come up quite a bit more. I then need to make sure it's nice and strong, plated off and then tiled off, so I can build some mills plates which will just rest on top of the tiles and just be kept in place at a couple of points. Now at the moment, the mills plates here, there are several joins in there, and I want to keep that so they are separate. So if I need to remove a section to work on it, I can easily do so, but I also want it so that I can clip them together quite easily without too much destruction. So I want to try and find a technique where I can clip it all together and just lift pieces out, and then that's how it moves apart. So what I'm going to do, start off by working on this section here and then just work my way along. But first of all, I've got to work out how high it needs to be. And here is the first section brought over to the table. There's quite a lot of work that I need to do on this mills plate alone. First of all, I need to remove all of the filler brick at the bottom there and replace it with a light bluish grey brick, just to make it look tidier. I thought light bluish grey would match this a lot better than, say, using a black. And this is the train line that leads to Arkham Asylum. And I want it so that it looks like it's blocked up. However, when the subway bullet comes along here, it just flies open. So I just need to work out what I'm going to be doing on there, what sort of technique. And I might do it so it's just on a Technic pin and it just flies open. Not sure how it will close afterwards. And again, when it's coming this way, whether I can have it so the train knocks open this way and then it flies back, I'm not sure. So I just need to work out a design for that. Now, the good thing is, due to the way that I've built this, again, this is something I can concentrate on further down the line. So I can get the brick walls all built and ready, and then I can just add the door mechanism afterwards. Now, with this side here, I need to have some sort of support to take the weight of the raised platform that's going above it. So I will put some pillars going up here every now and again, probably using the masonry bricks. And I might even put an arch on the very top just to make it look nice and tidy. Now, I'm not going to have it so that it's viewing to the subway the whole way along the table, but just where there are feature points like the opening door here, I do want it so you can peer through and actually see that. Now, with the railway line, I am wondering whether or not it'd be better to drop this down by a plate or two. A couple of reasons for that. One, it'll help keep the train line in place, but also if I do put more details on the railway line further down the line, then it's not going to be bringing it up too much further. So just need to make a decision on that. But anyway, that's enough talking. Let's get some bricks and plates out and let's get started. And that's stage one of the mills plate completed. So I've amended it so that it's got the grey bricks all the way along the edge of the part that I've taken away. What I'm going to do now is put two rows of plates in there, one a filler and then one grey to finish it all off for a nicer effect. And then put the track back down on top of it. Once I've done that, I can start putting the pillars back up and then start on that archway down the end there. And that's stage two all done with the two layers of plates all put in place. And I imagine what you do to keep this fixed in place permanently is to plate underneath this and then just tile the bits where there are not studs which can connect to that. So yeah, all good. And it's quite interesting, so I'm actually learning a lot about doing the railway track into the mills plate just by trial and error here. I haven't watched any videos online at all or seen anything else. So this is really good fun, just trying to work out the best way of doing this. And I finally feel like I'm making some progress here on the tunnel. And I've been at this all day and really been struggling with it. The first problem I was having was getting the curvature on the walls here. I tried a couple of different techniques. I started off by using the hinge pieces, which are these ones just here. However, I don't like those little bits that stick out on there. The other problem I was having is sometimes it would just say straight there as opposed to give me consistent gaps between them. And it didn't matter what I did, it just didn't work basically. So I went over to using this technique here where you use the 2x1 plates which have got the rounded ends, and then whenever the whenever the wall bends, you just put a cylinder in next to a brick. So that enables that to work nicely, and it's a lot easier to manipulate the wall into the shape that you want. Now these two walls are connected using one of those modified plates just here, and I've also used a bit of flex tubing on the back there, again just to try and keep it in place and help to get a consistent curve to that wall, and I think it's coming along really nicely. Now what I'm going to be doing next is removing these grey pillars just here, tile the bottom off, and then start doing the black bricks like this over there just to map that out, and then I can carry on building up. Now I know I've got plenty of the tan bricks from my Jabba's Palace mock. I'm not sure how many of the 1x1 cylinders I've actually got, so I may need to order some more of those in. But this is the sort of style I was thinking of with the block work, just to give it a worn out look. I did try numerous different colours on the subway here. Initially it was the light bluish grey, however the subway train's that colour, so I felt like you would lose it in there. Then tried dark bluish grey and light bluish grey. I tried white and sand green, all sorts of different colours, but this is the one that I finally came up with that I thought I was happy with. Just for me it feels like an older style that I'd expect to find in Gotham. And the other thing as well, once I've got the raised platform above it, it's going to be a lot darker in here, which I think is going to give it a nice gloomy Gotham-like feel. So next thing we need to do, remove all of these pillars in here, then I can tile off the bottom and then put the black row on there, just mapping it out, and I can carry on building the walls up. And here are the walls for the subway, and really happy with how they're coming along. I like the very subtle curvature that I've got with these. With this one, it does follow the tracks. It dips in, then comes back out again. One thing I would like to do is change these panels out a little bit, so there's a little bit more of this sort of effect on there, or even some graffiti of some description. I think would look pretty good. Now with these cylinders here, it would have been nice if they went all the way down as opposed to having them staggered. I quite like this section just here. I could lose those by doing the same as over there, but I'm going to need to order a load more of the cylinders in. At the moment I've been using these pieces here just so I can get those walls all built up. But again, as I mentioned before, due to the way that I'm building this, if I want to change any of these details, it is very easy to do so further down the line. Height wise, they need to come up by another 3 bricks. Then that will now give me the right clearance for the train to go through. And the current height there at the moment, I can rest the arches on top of like a section here, and the train does fit underneath. So that's all good. But what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to start building up the support beams back behind here, try and connect these walls somehow to the support beams just to give this a little bit more structural strength, and then I'll work out how I'm going to be putting the top section on there. And that's the support structure all started on the back corner here, and I've integrated it into the walls as well to give these a little bit more strength. And again here I've used a hinge piece to connect these two together just to make it that little bit stronger. Next up, I'm going to work on this section just over here and build the walls up by the next 3 bricks that it needs to be. I have amended the design very, very slightly on here, just trying to optimize the bricks that I've got available. And unfortunately, as I mentioned before, I am running really, really low on a lot of the parts. So I'm not going to be able to get done as much of the tunnel sections as I wanted to, or I was planning to. Just didn't realize what parts I'll be using. But at least I know now, and I can order in what I require. And something must have happened whilst building up the last 3 bricks in regards to the shape of the wall. And whether or not it's that hinge piece, I might take that out and have a look. But when the train goes through here, it seems to be okay. However, when I come back through, it's knocking. So there is just a very slight connection there. And if I tilt the train over, it comes past. But it's just this section here on the opposite side which is causing the problem. Now, through this particular section here, the only train that's going to be going past, or vehicle that's going to be going past, is the subway bullet. So I don't necessarily need to change it if I don't want to. However, I am going to have this same shape wall in other parts of the subway, so I will need to amend it on those particular ones. But I'm going to take this hinge piece out just here and see if I can squeeze the wall in a little bit, see if I can manipulate just that fraction to see if that works. If not, it's going to be a case of just redesigning this particular part, or just remove these parts from the train carriages. And that's the walls pretty much complete on this first section of the subway line, and relatively happy with how it's come out. I do still need to put the graffiti in, so I will get some parts in, some nice bright colours, and just graffiti those walls up. I'd sooner do it brick built and plate built rather than putting some stickers on the walls there. Now I do need to plate this all off and connect the front to the back, and there are a couple of points where I can connect it. All of these studs, obviously at the back I can, the very end one there, but from the second stud along all the way to here I can't use, so I need to tile that off. So what I'll do, I'll put an extra row of plates on all the studs at the back, the end one there, and then I'll come across to the front. Now this section here is to help take the weight of the raised platform above, and it is flexing a bit. However, again, once I put some bricks on there, that'll be absolutely fine. And what I'm going to be doing is having some row of bricks, and then there'll be a mills plate that just sit behind the row of bricks on there. So the row of bricks will just be the first stud along. But I'll explain that more in the future when I actually get around to building them. But yeah, really pleased with how this is coming out. I need to make sure that I'm 100% happy with the design before I go ahead and order the several hundred of these cylinders that I need to be able to complete the rest of it. There's not masses of this design that I need to put throughout the subway. It's only going to be where you can see into the tunnel, which is normally where there's going to be a switch track or the actual train station itself, or subway station, sorry. But the subway station is obviously a different colour, as we built that a few weeks back. But yeah, there it is. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this update. If you have, please remember to give us a big thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content on the channel. And if you know anybody else you think would be interested in building Gotham and Lego, if you could share the channel with them, it'd be much appreciated. Anyway, thanks for popping on by, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.